Welcome to day 2 of covering SOL 8.16a. The topic is positive, negative, and zero slopes, with the SOL stating that students will recognize and describe the graph of a linear function with the slope that is positive, negative, or zero. For yesterday's independent practice and homework, you were given the following 2 questions. The correct answer for number 4 is A, that it is a positive slope, as we see the trend is increasing, so therefore the slope is positive. If you're looking at the second question, the answer is positive for that one as well, as we see our values for our X and Y coordinate are increasing as we go to the right, so therefore they're both positive. Today's objective: I will recognize, draw, and describe a line that has a negative slope. The materials needed are paper, preferably graph paper, pencil, and a ruler. The important vocabulary that we will continue to cover throughout the week are as follows: linear function, slope, positive slope, negative slope, zero slope, undefined slope, the slope-intercept form of a linear equation, and the y-intercept. Please pause the video at this time to take a few moments to watch the instructional video. When you are ready, please resume so that we can join Ms. Siebers as we go over our independent practice. Welcome back. Hopefully you've had a second to pause the video to go over the notes from the instructional video and you're ready for independent practice. Here is example number 1. Which is most likely the graph of a line with a negative slope? Please make your choice and join us for the explanation when you are done.
Here is Mrs. Siebers. We are back for looking at negative slope today. Example 1, we are being asked which is most likely the graph of a line with a negative slope. So here we're looking for our line to be moving down. So it's like you're going down a sled on a hill. And remember, we always read our graphs left to right, just like the instructional video was saying. So if you look at the left part of your graph, you want that line should be higher than the right side of your graph so that you can slide down that hill. So as your X value is increasing, or as you're moving farther to the right of the graph, your Y value is decreasing. So you'd be moving farther down your graph. So the answer for example 1 would be A. So remember last week when we were talking about, or a few weeks ago when we were talking about scatter plots, I'm getting my weeks all confused these days, as I'm sure you guys are too. So a few weeks ago when we were talking about scatter plots, this would look like a negative correlation, right? So as one thing is increasing, the other thing is decreasing. So that is going down, like you're going down a hill. So A, again, is your answer choice for example 1.
Example number 2, select all graphs that have a negative slope. So look at the 6 graphs that you are given and please choose your answers accordingly.
All right, so looking at example 2 here, we are supposed to pick the graphs that have a negative slope. So if we look at the top left-hand graph, reading that from left to right, we would be moving up, or that would be increasing, so that would be a positive slope. So that would look like what we did yesterday. Moving next to that in the middle, that line is just a horizontal line, so it's not increasing and it's not decreasing. So that is definitely not a negative slope. And then the far right one on the top line there, if we're moving from left to right, you'll notice that that is decreasing. So the farther right we go, or the more that your X value is increasing, your Y value is going down, so you are decreasing. So that is a negative slope. Same exact idea for the bottom row, those first 2. So as your X value is increasing, your Y value is decreasing, and you would be able to put your person on a bike there and it would be able to roll down the hill, or go sledding down a hill. And then that last one all the way on the bottom right, if we look at that, that is increasing. So that one would be a positive slope.
Example number 3, which line on the coordinate plane has a negative slope? Please look at the 4 options that are given and choose your answer accordingly.
And last but certainly not least, we have example 3. So looking at that same graph, actually, that we looked at yesterday, this time we're just looking for which one of those lines has a negative slope. So yesterday we already knew that or discovered that line number 2 has a positive slope because it's increasing from left to right and moving up. As our x value increases, our y value also increases. So for today, we're looking at which one of those lines has a negative slope. So we're looking at where can I put this bike on a hill where it will roll down from left to right. So here our solution for the line with a negative slope is going to be line 4. So as our x value is increasing, as we are moving farther to the right, our y value is decreasing, or we are going down. So line number 4 is your line that has a negative slope there.
Please look at the following 2 questions. These are your practice and homework questions. We ask that you please look at question number 1 where it says select the 2 graphs that have a negative slope and indicate your answers. And for number 5, it says which of the following statements is true about the line graphed below. Please mark your answers in your notebook and we will go over them at the top of tomorrow's session. Now we'd ask for you to log into your Clever account onto Dreambox and to complete at least one lesson, your daily lesson for today. Thank you guys for joining us and we look forward to being with you tomorrow.